Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're hitting chest. Got my coconut water. Gotta hydrate, but chest and biceps today. Alright, guys, so I just finished cardio. Just finished 20 minutes on the Stairmaster. Yeah, look at this shit.
I never meant to fall out in love with you.
I just hit chest and biceps. The pump was crazy. That was the last of my pump formula. I actually gotta get more, but yeah, guys, I've been going through some stuff. Like, I've been going through some like real shifts in life, like just experiencing a lot of crazy emotions and internal feelings that I never experienced, at least not at this level. I can tell it's building me, but it's also like really like, what the frick? You know, what the frick are we going through right now? So if that resonates, I want to speak to you and I and say that if you can remain still, in all of the noise, you already won. But that's the thing, you already won. You already won regardless. Even if you flip the frick out, right? If you flip out, you still won, because You couldn't help it. And you're gonna learn eventually to remain still. So everything is building you to remain still no matter what, as long as your mindset is aligned with, always getting better. I hope that made sense. But yeah, I mean, I just kind of been focused on the higher path regardless of how I feel. That's been like a big theme for me this year. A lot of shedding, a lot of overcoming, a lot of thinking, sometimes I realize you don't want to think too much, because thinking too much can take away your peace, take away your joy. Sometimes you just kind of have to be present. Take things slow. I think a lot of us are trying to run when we don't even know how to walk yet. We don't even know how to walk yet, bro. We're crawling right now. We're all like children, And I think we're trying to get to some destination, and I think that just creates a lot of internal conflict for what, bro? We see people around us. Everybody's competing for the next big first place spot, but nobody's competing for the first place spot in their own lives, which is like wild. Everybody's just like in a rush to get the next big thing, to look like the biggest star, and to have the nicest clothes, the nicest car. And that shit's always changing. That shit's temporary, You gotta make sure you see yourself that way, first of all. Like, you have to make sure you look at yourself and look in the mirror and see that higher version of yourself always, even in the midst of chaos, I always say this. I think a high self-esteem is the most priceless thing you can have in life. It's wealth to have a high self-esteem, because you'll never not survive with a high self-esteem. You will find your way through this life with a high self-esteem. And I think that's what a lot of advice and, books and improvement and things as such, like, leads us to it. It leads us towards having the confidence within us to be able to, take those leaps and build that rapport with ourselves, So focus on your self-love, even if you feel like nothing's working right now, because I promise you it is, even if you can't tell. And yeah, just keep working every single day, even if there's no results. And remember why you're doing this. Remember why you're doing what you're doing. So thank you guys for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's keep the ball rolling, should I say.